NC State is another must-win game tonight. Part of me wants to record that and just play it before every game for the rest of the year.
On loop.
Just, hey, it's a must-win. And this is the true kind of must-win, right? If you lose, goals are being taken off the table. If you lose, possibilities are being taken off the table. There are tangible things that will not be possible if you lose one of these. First of all, coming up tonight, Wolfpack Weekly right here on 99.9 The Fan. That'll be immediately following this show. So right at 6 o'clock, Wolfpack Weekly featuring Kevin Keatts, head coach NC State men's basketball, will be right here on 99.9 The Fan. Let's talk about this must-win game tonight. They're playing Syracuse. What rotation will we get from the Wolfpack tonight? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I wish I had an answer for you. I'm done trying to predict what it's like. I don't even know. I was going to try to pick some celebrity that's wildly unpredictable. I was going to be like trying to predict what Charlie Sheen is going to do next or something like that.
That's the one that popped into my head.
But actually, I think we can kind of Nicolas Cage, right? Like, is he going to buy a $300,000 T-Rex sculpture, or is he going to star in a remake of Con Air? I don't know. It's NC State. Their rotation has become that type of unpredictable to me. Are they going to play two bigs most of the night, or are they going to play their four guards 35 minutes each? Or are they going to play Dennis Parker Jr. like he's a star? Are they going to play him not at all? Is Jaden Taylor going to be a part of their main rotation, or is he going to play a little bit? Is Ben Middlebrooks going to be a guy to come off the bench and give 5 fouls, or is he going to be a guy to actually go in the game and play 20 to 25 minutes? DJ Burns, will he play 3 minutes at a time, or will he play 3.5 minutes at a time? You have to get through that. What is the rotation going to be? No one knows. I will make an assumption, though. I assume we won't get as many double big man lineups as we saw against Clemson. First of all, because we didn't see it really much leading into the Clemson game. And second of all, because I don't think they're going to have to. Syracuse has one player in the top 6 of their minutes played. So in their top 7 of their minutes played. Their top 7 in rotation. Nobody's taller than 6'8". So you might be able to get away in this game with DJ Burns in 4 guards, or Ben Middlebrooks in 4 guards, or Mohamed Diarra in 4 guards. Now, if they do go beyond their top 7, they're bringing in a guy that's 7'4". That's when you're going to have either Diarra or Middlebrooks out there, because it's just a matchup that DJ Burns won't be able to handle. For more on the scouting report from Syracuse, here's Kevin Keatts, the head coach.
I think a couple things is they're really good in transition. They do a great job. They get the ball out quick, and they try to get the ball up the floor as much as they can. The last time we played them, quite honestly, they took 32 free throws, and that didn't work out for us. We only got 11, so we didn't do a good job in that area. And I think Judah Mintz himself took 21. And so we got to do a good job with that. And I think now, because he doesn't have as much depth, they're starting to have a mixture of a little bit of man and some zone. And so I think that's a couple of things that we got to, work on. Usually, when Coach Boeheim was there, you knew preparing for Syracuse, you had to spend, every minute on their zone. Now I think, what Red's doing, he's playing a combination of both. So you got to do a little bit of both now.
It's an interesting, Dennis has been catching on to that often, right? Because teams are actually starting to do it against UNC, where they're throwing the zone, the man, different variations of the zone, the man, kind of alternating. And it's had success against UNC. That's been a part of their until their most recent game against Virginia Tech. Mm-hmm. UNC had struggled against it. It started with Syracuse. They were one of the first teams to truly throw the rotation at them.
Georgia Tech did it.
Georgia Tech did
it to them.
All right, well, then maybe Syracuse learned it from – you're actually right when you look at the UNC schedule. Georgia Tech did it first, but Syracuse did it, and maybe they're like, hey, if it works against UNC, maybe we'll use it against everybody. If they throw that out there at NC State, I think it becomes a very interesting kind of rotation that we'll see from State because of this. If you're throwing multiple different defensive looks at a team, I think especially a team that's not particularly physically dominant. They don't have a bunch of big guys. If you're rolling everyone out there between 6'4" and 6'8", meaning height-wise, I don't think you worry about what positions you're putting out there. I think you put your 5 smartest players out there, right? You have to have your 5 that are best at diagnosing a defense quickly and getting into your set, right? Whatever that set is. So we might see a completely new rotation that we haven't seen elsewhere for NC State, which wouldn't surprise me because we've had 3 or 4 times where they've surprised us completely this year. And I think in a lot of ways, for every reason we've just discussed, the pressure more and more as this season goes along falls on 2 guys. Falls on DJ Horne and Casey Morsell, more and more. DJ Horne has been scoring the ball lights out. Casey Morsell's the steady hand out there, but they are the constants. Jaden Taylor doesn't know going into each game what his role is going to be. DJ Burns doesn't know going into each game. By the way, when I say they don't know going into the game, I don't mean like day of. I assume they went over it in practice, but I'm saying from game to game, their roles fluctuate. Mo Diarra, I just saw this stat on Twitter just moments ago. He is number 1 in the Power 4, Power 5 in rebounds per minute. Doesn't play a ton of minutes, so he's not near the top in rebounds per game. But in rebounds per minute, he's number 1. So maybe you play him more, maybe you don't. If I could predict it, then this whole segment would be very different. My point is, the only 2 that seem to have a guaranteed role this season are DJ Horne and Casey Morsell. Michael O'Connell started off not with a huge role. Now he does. But, as quickly as you get it, you can lose it, right? They'll leave you how they found you. DJ Burns has gone down. He had a game where he was completely healthy. He played 13 minutes this year. Jaden Taylor was part of the 4 that played 33, 34 minutes a game. They had a stretch where 4 guys were playing huge minutes. Last game, he played 19. Dennis Parker Jr., at one point in time, I thought they should run the whole offense through him. He's barely playing at all now. Cam Woods, remember when he came back, he was eligible. He was going to play a big role. He plays almost none at all. MJ Rice, he came back. He was hurt. He was going to be the savior. He dunked on David Thompson's statue night. Remember that? Now he's hurt and not playing at all this year. The roles have been ever fluctuating. The only 2 that have remained constant are DJ Horne and Casey Morsell. So those 2 guys better be the comforting face. They better be out there looking at people with a knowing nod, right? When you do a little huddle before free throws, you better get together and they better be the ones talking, calming everybody down.